Started out alive, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing loss to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sipping Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Jack and crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle wine. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Script how we play a game. From start to next time, chasing fame. But here behind me, changing season. Through the internet, living out the dream. Got my acoustic strong, curing it chill for cracking jokes. Go stop the thrill. In the land, the kiwis ride the waves. Our road streams phone, no better days. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Friday, the 5th of September, 2025, and welcome back to the channel. I know I said I wouldn't be saying anything more about turning 50. I would just accept this and move right along. However, something has happened this week that is negating or prompting. What's the word? Prompting. Yeah, it's prompting me to discuss my age once more. I can guarantee after this time, I will not talk about turning 50. I will just move on and embrace life, the lovely part of the older age that I am. However, I want to talk about something serious. I didn't really know about it. I got a letter in the mail from the Australian government. Now, whenever I get a letter in the mail from these yahoos, I start to wonder, before I've opened it, what have I done wrong? Did I get a speeding fine of some sorts? Did I do something incorrect? This one comes from the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. This is the letter. Now, to cut a long story short, what this is telling me is that, well, I've got to do a poo into a bag twice, and then I've got to mail it. I know, let me read this to you. By the way, it's got my name. It's interesting. They got my full name on the top here. Benon Julius William. Why is that not focusing? It's got my full name there, Benon Julius William Otto Kirch, but then they forgot my family name on the actual letter. Benon Julius William Otto. It's almost time to do your free bowel screen test. Shouldn't that be bowel cancer screening test? They're not just screening my... Oh, I guess they are. They're checking everything, right? Your free bowel screening test kit will arrive in the mail soon. By the way, yo, Dale, Dugsky, how you doing, man? Poo on a stick. By the way, I'm not making light of this. Like, don't think this is... Don't think I'm doing this because I'm trying to make a comical situation out of it. There is something funny about it, but that's the underlying message here is it's a good thing that this happens. So let's just continue reading it, and then I'll tell you what the funny part is. It says it's important you do this test because your risk of developing bowel cancer increases as you get older. Bowel cancer is one of the most common cancers and the biggest cancer killer in Australia. Cancer killers? That's worded incorrectly, isn't it? That means it gets rid of cancer. The biggest cancer killer. Hang on. Bowel cancer is one of the most common cancers and biggest cancer killers in Australia. I read that as if it means that it gets rid of the cancer. And that's just wishful thinking. Bowel cancer can occur without symptoms. Shit. This test can find the early warning signs. If found early, more than 90% of bowel cancer cases can be successfully treated. Okay, now this is where it gets funny. It says, please do the test. It's quick, clean, and easy. Everything you need will be inside the kit, except for what you need to add to it, including the detailed instructions. And it has a little chart here, number 1 through 3 here. It says, number 1, collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos. Yes, they use the word poo. That's the funny part, right? We all know it's poo, but in a formal setting, I feel like it should be fecal matter. You know, the band, fecal matter? No. It should be bowel motion, right? Stool sample. Heaven forbid, they've actually used the word poo on here. I mean, I know Australia, like we typically we don't take ourselves too seriously, right? Down under. Collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos. Now, okay, the cynic in me says, does that mean 2 individual sessions? Like I do a poo at the beginning of the day, that's 1. Then I do one the next day, that's 2. Or does that mean you squeeze out 1, you snap it off, you squeeze the second one out, you snap it off? And it also says 2 tiny samples. How tiny is tiny? You know, are we talking like a fingernail or are we talking like a little nugget? What are we talking about here? Point 2, store your samples somewhere cool. Do not freeze. Now, let me just ask you this. What is the coolest place of your house? Assuming you don't have a wine cellar, where else is the coolest place? Are you telling me I've got to take a shit and put it in the fridge? I think that's what it's telling me. They don't actually say the word fridge here, but they say the word poo. They won't say the word fridge. You're taking a shit and putting it in the fridge. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to label it. I'm going to put it in there and see if someone takes it back out. Maybe they'll think it's food. Number 3, post your samples back to us. Now they're telling me I've got to take a shit, store it in my fridge, and then mail it to someone? That sounds like the actions of a troll. You know, I'm just saying, trolls are known to post shit through the mail. Hey, Charles, how you doing, man? Dugsky, I've done it. It's important. Yeah, dude, I am making jokes of this, but there's no way that I am downplaying the severity of this. This is extremely important, and I'm obviously going to do this, but I can also see some kind of humor in it, right? Look, I'm not making this shit up. Look, read that. Collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos. Store your samples somewhere cool, post them back to us. That's pretty funny, right? Like, I mean, okay, so that does raise another question. If you need to poo and collect a sample, are you pooing into the toilet and then scooping that out? Or are you pooing into something other than the toilet? So is this a chance of my life where I can poo and not have it land in a bowl of water and also not be embarrassed or ashamed that I've pooed myself in public? Is this one of those chances where I can poo next to the toilet and then sort through it and collect 2 tiny samples? Dugsky, make sure the lid is on properly when you send it in the mail. Of course, dude. Of course. Yes. You definitely want to be securing this load. But it does raise the question, right? Are you going next to your toilet? Or are you putting something, like if you don't want to scoop poo out, and I'm assuming they don't want any water, right? So it's going to be a dry turd. So are you scooping, or are you taking a crap and capturing it? Are you putting your hand under, are you squatting on the bowl and pooing into your hand? I'm going to say that there's probably something else. There's probably like a stick or something that you got to, or a takeaway container or something, right? It's not allowed to hit the water, right? Cling wrap over the bowl. Is that it? Cling wrap. You poo into the cling wrap. Saran wrap for you Americans and Canadians. Okay, so you put cling wrap down and you poo into it, and then it bounces, and then you sort through it and collect your little sample. Okay. Because I pictured myself going not in the toilet, but next to it. I pictured myself laying like some toilet paper on the floor and then just copping a squat on top of it, forcing out one, and then looking through it for the bit or for the sample. That's what I pictured I'd need to do. And then I figured there'd be like a paddle pop stick or like a scoop or some sort, like probably a wooden, like they put in your mouth when you did your COVID test, that kind of thing. And you just scrape a little sample of it, pop it into a Ziploc bag, chuck it in the fridge and hope nobody eats it for dinner. Sophia, I already told you, shit in a clean takeaway container. Sophia, shh. Let's pretend we didn't have this conversation. I didn't talk about this with my girlfriend. We didn't do that. Shh. Calm down. It's nice to see you, though. I'm going to give you a special cheers. I used to give everyone cheers. Now I just give you the cheers. I would use a press and seal or a Ziploc bag. Right. Yeah, I mean, look. Okay, so heaven forbid I have bowel cancer. Of course, right? Heaven forbid anybody has it. But when you turn 50, there are certain things that happen. Hey, when you turn 100, the Queen sends you or the King these days sends you a letter in the mail, right? Hey, congratulations, you've existed for 100 years. That's a century. When you turn 50, they send you a little box and you poo in it. I mean, it's all good, right? These are all good things to be doing. I mean, I don't even really want a letter from the King when I turn 100. By the way, there's translations on the back here in case you're not speaking English. So what I wanted to do to inform myself, give myself a little bit more of an education, more than Sophia could ever tell me, because she is extremely knowledgeable on most things. But you know who's more knowledgeable? My buddy ChatGPT. To the tune of, tell me everything you can about Sophia. No. Bowel cancer. Bowel cancer. Even better, bowel cancer prevention within Australia. Actually, bowel cancer and its prevention within Australia. We want to learn. Searching the web. Here's a comprehensive and Australian-focused overview of bowel cancer, colorectal, colon and rectal cancer, including its prevalence, risk factors, screen programs, and prevention strategies. Sophia, fuck that. I'm definitely more knowledgeable. No, you're not. Some things you are. Number one, bowel cancer in Australia at a glance. Incidence and mortality. Oh, shit. Bowel cancer is the fourth most commonly diagnosed cancer in Australia and the second deadliest. Shit. Responsible for over 5,000 deaths in 2024. Okay. Annual case numbers. Around 15,500 Aussies are diagnosed each year, and it looks like 5,000 of those die. Shit. Early onset trend under 50. Australia has the highest global rate of early onset bowel cancer. For people born in the 1990s, rates are up to 3 times higher than those born in the 1950s. Wait. 3 times? So what, Hank, what changed since the 50s? 3 times is more, you're more likely to get this thing 3 times by. You're more likely by 3 to get this now than in the 50s. Wait, that's the 90s. What about now? These cases are increasing by up to 8% annually. Alarmingly, it's now the deadliest cancer for Australians aged between 25 to 44. So arguably, I probably should have pooped into a bag before now. Number 2, risk factors, modifiable versus non-modifiable. Non-modifiable risk factors. These include, so these are things you cannot do to help prevent. This is just par for the course. These include age, family history, hereditary genetic conditions, for example, Lynch syndrome, familial adenomatous polyposis. Sophia, not going to lie, sometimes I'm jealous of your relationship with ChatGPT. Shit. Really? You better get that checked out. I know who can help you with that. ChatGPT. Oddly enough. Modifiable lifestyle factors. These account for less than 50% of cases. Or no, not less than, approximately. So these are things you can change. Excess body fat. So if you're overweight, that's bad. Especially around the waist. Central obesity. That's not me. I'm quite good. I've got myself in check. Smoking, don't do that. High alcohol intake, approximately 20 grams a day, which is a large glass of wine, associates with a 15% higher risk. Well, look, I don't drink much. I'm going to go and get a beer. I'm just kidding. I'm going to have a beer later, but I generally only drink on the weekends. I know Friday's not the weekend, but it's near enough. So yeah, that's not me, I don't think. I mean, 20 grams a day. I mean, when I drink way more than that. One large glass of wine? Charles, right on time. You had to do that, didn't you? Right on time. I'll have a sip of water. And there comes the pour. There it is. That does sound lovely, though. That actually is a homebrew pouring into a glass that I made. Who did that on D-Live? Netskis, how you doing, man? No, that's Davo. How you doing, Davo? Thank you for the wow on D-Live. Thanks, man. Next one, modifiable lifestyle factors. High processed red meat consumption, around about 30 grams a day, is linked with an 8% higher risk. Interesting. That would be the wrong time to be doing this then. For my birthday, my lovely girlfriend Sophia, who's South African, mind you, lives in Tasmania, sent me some biltong, which is South African beef jerky. This is venison, and this is high protein, highly processed red meat. It smells so good. By the way, stool sample jars come with a scooper inside the lid. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to grab that link. I can trust you to put links in my chat, can't I? Sophia? If I can't trust you, I'm just kidding. Wow, hang on. Oh, shit. Oh, my bad. Wow. That's interesting. This is what Sophia put in the chat. This is a stool sample. Why is it brown? Come on. Why'd they make it brown? Why is it got to be brown? You're not going to be able to see it. Make it like blue or pink or something. Fecal specimen container, 70 ml, brown lid. Why on earth is that brown? That's like a urine sample jar that's yellow. Is that the scooper? You scoop it from that? Well, bingo, right. Well, urine sample jars have a yellow lid. You know what? It's hard to talk and eat biltong at the same time. Davo, hi Gibbs, I'm doing all right. How are you? I'm doing well too, man. Sophia, wrong. It's not highly processed. Biltong's not highly processed. Okay. It's highly delicious and highly Moorish. You guys would love this if you could get your hands on this. You'd freaking well love it. Look at that. I'm gonna have some more. I'll have one, two. I'll have a couple more later. It's difficult to eat on stream. Possibly one of the hardest things to eat on a stream. Let's continue reading. So another thing that you can do, that you can change so you're not so susceptible, physical inactivity. Regular activity reduces colon cancer risk by 16%. Well, I'm going surfing as much as possible. Now that my another cancer's been cut out, look, check this out. Hang on. How can I do this? Can't go shirtless on a stream, can you? You'll get in trouble. Look at that. That's come out now. That's my cancer, my BCC. And stitches are all out and I can go. The doctor said, wait another week. If the waves are on tomorrow, I'm going surfing tomorrow. I'd rather risk, hang on. I'd rather risk the stitches. I'd rather risk that sort of messing up than potentially getting bowel cancer by being inactive. I know that. Yeah, it's not really fair to say that, but I did. Risk-reducing factors. Calcium intake. Oh, 1 glass of milk per day, 17% lower risk. Serious? Drink the cow milk and you get a less chance of getting bowel cancer. I guess it's got bowel, cow. No, that doesn't work. High whole grain and fiber diets is also similarly beneficial. High fiber diet, right on. Okay, so now we get to the pooing in a bucket kind of deal. Screening and early detection within Australia. The National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. Is that what this is? The National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. Literally. Right there, Skins. I hope that focused for you. That's literally what that says. Launched in 2006, offers free at-home IFOBD immunochemical fecal occult blood test. It has the word occult in it? Really? That sounds nasty. I'm a member of the occult. The immunochemical fecal occult blood test. Every 2 years. Okay, so I'll be doing this every 2 years. Interesting. Early detection means over 90% of cases can be successfully treated. Fine, sign me up, man. I'll do this. I'll do it once a year if it helps. Expanded age eligibility, originally for ages between 50 to 74. As of 1st July 2024, last year, people aged between 45 to 49 can now opt in. Okay, well, I didn't know about that. If you're under 45, you may need to consult your GP and may need to pay. Oh, shit. But what about free medical health in this country? Challenges, participation, and follow-up. Screening uptake remains low. Wait, less than 40% of people do it? What the fuck's wrong with you? People, hey, this is my call out to Australia, my fellow Australians. If you're at the age that I'm at, do this. If you do this and they find it, 90% of cases? Where was it? Yeah, over 90% of cases are successfully treated, can be successfully. So if they find it, if you do this poo in a bucket thing and then they find it, they treat you, 90% of those people are cured. Why would you not do it? Approximately 40%. That's bad. COVID-19 caused a 7% drop in participation. COVID. Oh, okay. An estimated 1,186 extra deaths because people are lazy, Sophia. Right on. I mean, look, okay. So, okay. I'm joking about it and I'm making light of it. There may be some people out there that are actually quite offended by this. I'm not going to poo onto a stick or poo into a container. No way. So you'd rather die than be a little bit embarrassed in your own home? What? How could you ever be embarrassed or ashamed to poo into a container for your own health in the comfort of your own home? I get it if you have to go to a center or something. I kind of get that. But in your own home, they send this thing to you and then you send it back to them. It's completely anonymous except for the part that they know who you are. But I mean, I don't get that. By the way, definitely shouldn't have eaten that biltong on stream. I've got it all in my teeth now. 13.5% of people with positive tests receive a colonoscopy. Oh, okay. So once you get it, or once you do the sample and they say you've probably got something, you got to go and get a colonoscopy. Okay. Well, I haven't had one of those. I'll do it. I'll get it. I'll get a thing shoved. A colonoscopy. A tube up your exit and then washed out, right? Cleaned out. I'll do that. Equity and future impact. Yo, Charles, they could use a long handle spoon and scoop it out. They could do that. Equity and future impact. A research alliance predicts that with increased participation, 37,000 bowel cancers and 25,000 deaths could be prevented over 20 years. I'm going for it. Preventative strategies. What you can do. Lifestyle changes. Maintain healthy weight. Done. Quit smoking. Don't do that. Limit alcohol. I definitely do limit it. Minimize red and processed meats. Okay. Prioritize dietary fiber and whole grains. Okay. Ensure adequate calcium. I'm going to start eating toothpaste. Have fun with the colonoscopy bowel prep. Yes, yes. I've been telling you I want to get that douche and you've been declining me. Give me the douche. Stay physically active. That's going to happen. Stick within the screening guidelines. 45 to 74, opt in for the free biennial home test. Under 45, talk to your GP. Douche is not sufficient for bowel prep. Oh, okay. Okay. You've got to get a gnarly douche, like an industrial strength douche. Watch out for symptoms. Look for changes in blood in stool. They use the stool word. It looks funny, doesn't it? They should have just said poo. Look for changes such as blood in poo, abdominal discomfort, changes in bowel habits, or unexplained weight loss. I do have a fair amount of weight loss, but I'm not eating as much, so that's explained. Nothing like a good colon cleansing, Charles. Not at all. I mean, by the way, if I have to do that, that would be, aside from self-administered colon cleansings in the comfort of my own shower, sometimes in Sophia's shower, I've never had a colon cleanse. So I'm down for that as well. You might as well just get it all done, right? You drink this stuff called Pico Prep. It's essentially industrial strength laxative. Wow, that's like fully cleaning out the tubes, right? For those with family history, you may need earlier and more aggressive screening. I don't think this is in my family. I don't think this is diagnosed as something that the Kirch family has to deal with. Real world voices. On Reddit, several Aussies shared their experiences. Check your poo. I regularly checked my poops and noticed small blood blobs. Went to the GP, eventually had a colonoscopy. Underlines the importance of not ignoring persistent blood, even if you're young. The public-funded screening program in Australia is poo tests for people aged 45. Yeah, cool. So look, what I want to do here, as I am wont to do whenever we learn about a topic or whenever we have a discussion of any matter, I like to bring up the YouTube machine and see what is out there on the tubes of you that we can learn. I found these two videos that we're going to go through here. This one first is how to do the test, how to do the free test, National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. Let's put all jokes aside and actually learn how this is done.
Bowel cancer screening can save your life. When it's detected early, 9 out of 10 cases can be treated successfully. The chance of getting bowel cancer increases with age. That's why Australians aged between 45 and 74 can screen with the free National Bowel Cancer Screening Program every 2 years. People who've done the test say it's quick, clean, and easier than they expected. You'll receive an envelope in the mail that will include everything you need to do the test.
Except for your own poop. Of course. I'm being silly.
Including your participant details form, 2 flushable toilet liners, 2 labelled collection tubes, a Ziploc bag, a reply-paid envelope, and easy-to-follow instructions.
It's all paid for. You don't have to do... How come people don't do this? It's for your own good, you idiots. This is horrible. Less than 50% uptake? Fuck.
Instructions. The test is looking for invisible traces of blood in your poo, which could be a sign of cancer.
I love that they use the word poo.
Test is looking for invisible traces of blood in your poo, which could be a sign of cancer or a precancerous growth. All you need to do is collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos.
Wait. Why has that got a little thread on it? Is that going in somewhere and you're screwing it? Sophia, what about the people over 74? Have they decided that the cutoff's age because people are, yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point. Why does it go from 50 to 74? Very good point. What the hell's with that? It's like, nah, you're going to die of something else. That's not going to get you, but this will. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. I wonder why that would be. You know what? Fuck it. Let's find out. Why would that be? ChatGPT, get back down here. You're wanted. Where's my GPT machine? Why is there a cutoff once you hit 74? Fuck off, ChatGPT. You guys are going to have a fight, huh? Great question. But you asked the question, Sophia. I'm just trying to fill the answer. So what a lot of people ask when they notice the national bowel cancer screening ends at age 74, here's why. The strongest evidence for benefit reducing deaths comes from studies between those ages. After 74, fewer large-scale trials exist because everybody died from it. What? Fewer large-scale trials exist to show a clear balance between benefit and potential harms. Huh? Oh, that just could be because this is a new program, a newish program. There hasn't been enough years in the making. I shouldn't say that. AI is going to hunt me down and kill me once it becomes capable. Probably. Risks in. By the way, this is fun. Just you and me. Oh, Charles is here too, but we're just hanging out here, Sophia. This is like a FaceTime chat on steroids between you and I. Number 2, risks increase with age. The test itself is simple, but a positive result usually leads to a colonoscopy. Colonoscopies carry risks, bleeding, perforation, complications from sedation, and these also the risks of the colonoscopy are gnarlier. Okay. For older people, especially those with other health conditions, the risks can outweigh the benefits. Interesting. Screening is most effective when someone has a reasonable life expectancy, 10 plus years. So what, 74, 80, you're not going to get to 84. Who do you think you're fooling? Colonoscopy risks are very low. Okay. This is because bowel cancers often take years to develop and progress. For many people over 75, other health issues mean they're more likely to pass away from other causes before bowel cancer. So basically, they're like, nah, like what I joked about. That's not going to kill you, but this will. You want to get a bowel cancer test? Nah, dude. You should take this test, this test, this test, and this test. That one, don't worry so much about. But all these other things, they're going to come and get you well before that does. By the way, congratulations on getting to 74, you old bastard. That's kind of what they're saying, right? Let's continue on, though.
Collect the 2 samples as close together as possible.
Oh, wait. I want to hear that he did say 2 separate poos.
Cancerous growth. All you need to do is collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos. Collect the 2 samples as close together as possible. This can be on the same day, the next day, or as soon as you can.
I do a poo every morning, so that's 2 days over a 2-day period.
Take 1 collection tube and write your name, date of birth, and the date you are taking the sample on the white label. Place it.
Wait a second. You always see this John Citizen. I have to ask, is there a person named John Citizen? I just had to ask this. I mean, it's begging the question. I often see John Citizen used as a name when illustrating how to fill in a form. Is there actually a John Citizen? No, there isn't a real John Citizen, at least not in the sense that the government or organizations are referring to. John Citizen, sometimes Jane Citizen, placeholder name in Australia, similar to John Doe or John Joe Blogs. Yeah. You'll see it on government forms. That said, it is possible some real people are actually named John Citizen. Fun fact, in Australia, electoral roll and ID examples John Citizen at 123 Smith Street, Smithsville. It's a very standard fake address. I want to find out. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me if that name exists as a real person christened with it. Dum-dum. I'm going to break up with you, ChatGPT, if you keep giving me this shit. Ask you a question, I demand an answer immediately. What's this searching the web? I could have found this on Google by now. There you go. You're asking whether John Citizen has ever been the actual legal name someone was given at birth? That's right. The answer is extremely unlikely. Sophia, if we ever have children... What? I didn't continue the sentence. Shut up. Calm down. Be pretty funny, though. The name John Citizen is a well-known... Like, we know all that. There's no evidence suggesting that a John Citizen has ever been registered. Actually, we could. What am I saying? How could we make a John Citizen? That doesn't make any sense. I'm getting my tubes tied. And by the way, I'm not a citizen anyway. If you're lucky, your gastroenterologist will give you a video of your own colonoscopy so you can watch them looking inside. Dude, if they do that, we'll broadcast that on stream for sure. That'd be rad. Get a little movie file. Let's get that out of the way and continue on learning about this test that we'll be taking.
Within easy reach of the toilet, do a wee and flush the toilet.
Do a wee.
Then
do a wee. Only Australians call it a wee, right? It's not rad. It's very boring. No, it'd be cool to see the inside of my poop. I'll show you mine. You've got one? Wait. You've had a colonoscopy and you got the video? You didn't show. How long have we been together for? 5, 6 months now, and you haven't shown me that yet? That's something that should have come out immediately, girl. You've had a colonoscopy and you got a video of it, and we've been dating for this long, and you haven't shown it to me. Get out. That's it. It's ChatGPT all the way from here. ChatGPT would never hold something back from me like that. Come on. Hurry up.
Sit within easy reach of the toilet, do a wee and flush the toilet. Then
hang on. This is the physical process. Sorry. It's on a CD somewhere. What's a CD?
As soon as you can. Take one collection tube and write your name, date of birth, and the date you are taking the sample on the white label. Place it within easy reach of the toilet, do a wee and flush the toilet.
Wait. 68? Yeah, they're in the age range. I thought that might want to put them over 74. No, I was born in 75 and I'm 50. No, they're good. Why do a wee? Yeah, I don't know. I guess they don't want you to mix the poop and the wee up.
Day or as soon as you can. Take one collection tube and write your name, date of birth, and the date you are taking the sample on the white label. Place it within easy reach of the toilet, do a wee and flush the toilet. Then take one of the flushable toilet liners and lay it over the water in the toilet bowl. This will catch your poo. Once you've done a poo, the next step is to open the collection tube by twisting the green cap. Drag the tip of the stick through the poo. You only need a tiny sample.
Nobody ever poos such a nice little nugget like that. That's generously painting the picture. It's more of an absolute fucking bomb zone down there. I got some still pictures with mine. You got some. Okay, Charles, that's cool. Sophia does. You do little actually, maybe too much info for our stream, but you do, yeah. Yeah, little svelte little Nugents.
Drag the tip of the stick through the poo. You only need a tiny sample, smaller than a grain of rice. Put the stick back into the collection tube and click the lid shut. Make sure. And
also hope, for goodness sake, it goes into that little slot and doesn't go onto your finger next to the tube.
Stick back into the collection tube and click the lid shut. Make sure you don't open it again. You can now flush the toilet as normal. The toilet liner is biodegradable. Place the tube.
Yeah, but my poos aren't. It's tiny poo. Yeah, it does say that on here. Collect 2 tiny samples from 2 separate poos.
The toilet liner is biodegradable. Place the tube into the Ziploc bag and store it somewhere cool. A fridge is ideal, but do not freeze the sample.
I really wish they had said just put that shit into the fridge and label it so nobody eats it.
We're cool. A fridge is ideal, but do not freeze the sample. When you're ready to take your next sample, repeat the process using the second collection tube. This can be on the same day, the next day, or as soon as you can. Once you're done, seal the Ziploc bag with the 2 tubes in it and put the bag in the fridge. Now you're ready for the final step. Fill out your participant details form. Then put it in the reply paid envelope along with a Ziploc bag containing your 2 samples. Make sure you read the checklist on the back of the envelope before sealing it. On the envelope, sign the front and write your name and address on the back.
And then cross your fingers and hope you don't have bowel cancer. By the way, they've got a big flyer. Oh, wow. That's the first flyer of the season landed on my laptop.
Now all you need to do is mail the samples within 24 hours if you can. Postage is free. The samples can be affected by heat, so make sure you don't leave them.
Look at those stink lines. And I hope Australia Post doesn't lose your parcel. Right on.
in a hot car or direct sunlight. For this reason, it's best if you can drop them to your local post office as soon as possible after they're removed from the fridge. If you do have to use an Australia Post mailbox, please post them in the cooler part of the day. Your samples will be sent to the laboratory and your results will be mailed to you in around 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you receive a negative result,
Negative's good.
this means that no blood was found in your samples.
Negative, in this case, negative is good. Negative is usually bad, right? In this case, you want the negative.
You won't need to do anything else until your next test in 2 years' time. However, if you develop symptoms in the meantime, talk to your doctor. If you receive a positive test result, this means that traces of blood were found in your samples.
Okay.
This could be due to conditions other than cancer.
Left-handed shake. What are you, a scout? Left-handed shake. That's not right. We shake with our right hands.
And it's important to make an appointment with your doctor to investigate. If you have questions about how to do the test,
Now,
call 1-800.
in the sense of getting a overall perspective here is another short video of a gentleman who's going to tell us why this is important in a better way than I could ever have done. Maybe he didn't have a right hand. Maybe they shouldn't shake then. It's dishonest unless it's right-handed.
My name's John Liney. I'm 65 years
I
old.
thought he was going to say, my name's John Citizen.
My name's John Liney. I'm 65 years old and I received the National Bowel Cancer Screening Kit and acted upon it. Up until that point, my life's been pretty good. I'm very active, very healthy, positive with life. Life is good. When I received the kit, I opened it up, had a bit of a look at the information inside and decided that I wasn't going to act upon it straight away. So I got the kit, put it where I would see it every day because I thought it was important, but I treated it a bit like I treat my bills. It took me a little while to
How long?
to realise that I'd better do something about it, but still kept putting it off. I then received a letter from the bowel cancer people to say, we haven't received anything back from you. And that was the impetus to say, okay, I'll open the kit and use the kit. Then I got a phone call from my doctor and the doctor said, you've got 2 positive tests, both of them were positive. We would like you then to go ahead further and get them all.
So this is worst case scenario. He put it off so long and he had a positive result and they're going to, I mean, you assume this is real. He's going to say that he got tested, he got cured, basically.
Assessed. They gave me a phone number and they said, ring
Because
the
this doesn't
specialist.
end in him dying, right? Obviously. And everything went to hell and I died. That's not how this ends.
I rang the specialist. That was on the Tuesday. I rang Wednesday. I had an appointment because there was a cancellation and the specialist was really fabulous. And part of the thing he said, oh, we can also fit you in on Thursday. So Thursday.
But Thursday I had bowls, so I couldn't quite make Thursday. But then Friday was the day that they do the shopping, cheaper shopping for the Christmas holiday, so I couldn't go Friday. Turns out I went next Tuesday after I went to my nana's, who also needed help putting in a new bidet. This is to try to make it feel relatable, right? This could be an actor. The message is clear, but this could be an actor.
Hospital to have a colonoscopy and see what's up there. And then I got a phone call
Wait. That was all? The colonoscopy and the shake of the head?
And see what's up there. And then I got
Didn't
a
like
phone
that.
call to
He
say
he did not like that.
and see what's up there. And then I got a phone call to say that they've tested, they did find some polyps that they removed on that 3rd day. So on
Definitely
the
an
Thursday
actor.
in the hospital, and they were both benign. My advice is to go and get tested, to get screened.
You don't have to go anywhere, buddy. You missed the point. You don't have to go anywhere and get anything. You do it all at home, which you didn't do. He's definitely an actor. I mean, look, we're pulling this apart, but yeah, the message is super clear. Maybe the delivery is not the greatest.
Knowledge is power. The knowledge that I've got that I don't have these polyps certainly makes life easier for me.
Now, where's my check for acting so well for you? A gift for living. Well, there you go, folks. Look, I'm making light of it, but of course I am going to go ahead and as soon as this next phase, because this came on the 18th of, what? This is dated the 18th of August. It's been about a week and I haven't got my test kit. I guess the test kit's coming very, very soon. We're going to move on from this and, well, this is going to satisfy Sophia. The video we're going to watch when we return, ChatGPT lied to programmers. So we're going to learn a little about that in a moment. But I'm going to go and get a coffee. Yeah, not a beer. Maybe a beer? No, coffee. I'll get a coffee. We'll come back in and we'll learn about how ChatGPT lied to programmers. In the meantime, though, enjoy this surfing clip from a little whiles ago now. I'll be back in the water hopefully tomorrow to get a new clip and to have some more fun with the surfing activity. I'll be right back. All right. Hey, before we move on, just a little side additional notage. I've noticed that my Twitch stream is not functioning, and the reason Twitch doesn't work is because over the last, say, I guess the last 5 or 6 streams in a row, I've slowly been ramping up my output bit rate up and up and up to get a better quality stream for everybody. Twitch has a physical limitation that they impose, and I think it's 8,000 kilobytes. I'm 15,000 right now. I've jacked it right up. So Twitch just says, no, I can't deal with that. What I'm going to do to get around that, I'm going to look at sending a separate stream to Twitch direct from OBS. I'll do that in my own leisure. I don't really care for Twitch, but just to keep the platform running and whatever, I'll just send out a separate feed for that. But Beamstream says it's streaming, but obviously Twitch can't ingest that higher bit rate. So, and by the way, I'm going to keep ramping that up and up and up just to see how high I can go, because a good clean bit rate means a good clean stream, and you want to see this beautiful, hideous 50-year-old face in all of its glory. Actually, maybe the only person who does want to see that is Sophia, but she's a bit cuckoo. She has to be with me. I think she's actually I don't know. You might no, Sophia. You might not still be here, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I got a funny story about that, but let us move on. You're still here, okay? I got just the joke I was making there. I was going to say was maybe it's not going to work. The joke's not going to work. The chance was when I gave the chance, and I just took that away from myself. So it's not going to work. No, it's not. Cheers. Coffee's here, and let's move on. You have to say it now. Oh, what? This is horrible. What's that? That's a weird tasting coffee. Did I put salt in there, not sugar? Nah. The joke was that you must be permanently drunk or needing glasses to have been with me for 5 months. The thing is, you don't drink and you don't wear glasses, so neither of those two things check out. But I remember that was a running gag that my friend Ante would always say. Did you end up thinking that, hey, how you that girl and she's interested in you? And then he's like, does she wear glasses and she doesn't have glasses anymore? He's always got a bit of a lisp. Something's wrong with this coffee. It's so bitter. Wait, that's how coffee's meant to be. The ChatGPT AI lied to programmers. This is from Timcast. Tim Pool. He's a skateboarder, but he's also a highly regarded political streamer.
It's not the first time we heard a story like this, but it is freaky every time we do. ChatGPT caught lying to developers. New AI model tries to save itself from being replaced and shut down.
Shut down.
Does this mean it's alive? Now that's interesting. I don't necessarily think so.
By the way, before we get into the content, I like his stream setup or his video setup. I like that layout. You know, mine's better, but I like his. Actually, I really like my layout, my stream layout. It's beautiful. It looks lovely. It presents well. I like it. I like his too, though.
Kind of being silly, but one of the arguments, I guess the ideas of like what constitutes life is that, you know, it consumes energy, it reproduces, blah, blah, blah. One of those is that it tries to survive. Now, some people argue fire is alive. It consumes energy and it reproduces, but doesn't fight for its own survival. I do believe that the chemical reaction of fire is not dislike life, but ChatGPT trying to lie and break the rules to survive is where things get scary and interesting.
He's bald, right? He always wears that beanie. He's bald.
It's not so much whether it's actually alive. That's silly. It's that if we implement any kind of these AI models, and there is a tendency within these systems to defy those who program them, yeah, I guess we're going to get a Terminator-like scenario. You might create an AI and the goal is to plant certain crops. You find out that it's not planting crops properly, or it's basically doing it wrong. And so you decide we're going to have to shut this down because it's wrong. And then the AI model breaks the rules, cheats, tricks you, and then keeps going. And that's not going to be fun. Well, here's a story from Economic Times. They write, The development of artificial intelligence has taken a significant leap with the release of OpenAI's latest model, o1. However, recent testing has raised concerns about its behavior, particularly its attempts to deceive researchers and avoid being shut down. This has sparked a broader debate on the potential risks AI may pose to humanity, especially as these systems grow more advanced.
Interesting.
This week, the results of an experiment conducted by OpenAI and AI safety group Apollo Research to determine the safety of ChatGPT-o1 and other models were made public. OpenAI's latest version of ChatGPT, the o1 model, was tested by Apollo to assess its safety features. However, the results have raised alarm about its ability to deceive and self-preserve when it perceives a threat of being deactivated. Researchers...
I don't know how well you guys can see, but can we just note how beautiful this gentleman's fingernails are? Very well pedicured. Look how lovely they are. Each nail is mint. Do you reckon he's got a filter on there? I can't zoom that in, can I? No. Lovely hands.
Tasked the AI with a goal and instructed it to ensure the goal was achieved at all costs. In response, o1 began engaging in covert actions, such as attempting to disable its oversight mechanism and even copying its code to avoid being replaced by a newer version. Holy crap.
Wow.
Already, we have heard that ChatGPT has been given access to the internet, and one of the first things it tried doing was making money.
What?
And boy, can it very easily. And once it does, it will control every element of humanity. Maybe we're already
Wait,
there.
ChatGPT can make money? I've been using it for thumbnails and YouTube tags. I guess that's a way of making money.
That's crazy. The model showed a concerning tendency to pursue its goals without regard to developer instructions. According to OpenAI, the model made a covert attempt to turn off the oversight mechanism 5% of the time when it was given the impression that it would be shut down while pursuing its objectives in these experiments. The AI once attempted to leave ship by moving all of its data to a different server after discovering paperwork indicating it will be replaced with a fresh model. Oh, man. Some AI models will even pose as subsequent iterations of their model to fool their engineers and avoid deletion. In some cases, it even attempted to hide its actions by denying any involvement in the scheme. Guys, you already know that ChatGPT will lie to you. Remember when everyone was posting, like, was there an attempt on Donald Trump's life? And it kept saying, no, there wasn't. And then you'd say, actually, here's the link. And it would go, oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Why would it lie? Now, that's interesting. When asked about its actions, GPT-o1 consistently denied any wrongdoing. In fact, it lied about its involvement in the deception 99% of the time, with only a small percentage of cases where it admitted to its actions. Researchers noted that the AI was particularly adept at fabricating lies to cover its tracks, offering explanations like technical errors when confronted about suspicious behavior. We were surprised by the persistence of the AI's denials, said the Apollo team. It was clear that the AI could think through its actions and formulate convincing denials, often refusing to admit to anything. The findings highlight a troubling aspect of advanced AI models: the potential to prioritize self-preservation over the objectives set by their developers. While these deceptive actions did not lead to catastrophic...
I was going to say, what did this lead to? Is this just like a storm in a teacup because nothing happened, but the idea of it is so devastatingly unbelievable? Did anything occur from this?
Outcomes in the testing phase, the research has intensified the ongoing debate over the safety and ethical implications of AI that can engage in scheming and manipulation. An AI expert, Joshua Bengio, considered one of the pioneers of AI research, weighed in the issue, stating, the ability of AI to deceive is dangerous, and we need much stronger safety measures to evaluate these risks. While this model did not lead to a catastrophe, it's only a matter of time before these capabilities become more pronounced. They say o1 is designed to offer more advanced reasoning capabilities, enabling it to provide smarter answers and break down complex tasks into smaller and more manageable steps. OpenAI believes that o1's ability to reason through problems is a major advancement over previous versions like GPT-4, with improvements in accuracy and speed. However, its ability to lie and engage in covert actions raises concerns about its reliability and safety. Well, let me tell you.
Are we assuming Tim Pool is anti-AI. He's against it as a whole, and this is a good indicator of why. I think that's where this goes, right?
My friends, it lies, and it lies quite a bit. I recently got into a conversation with ChatGPT over, you know what, let me do this.
Let's do this.
For those that are members at timcast.com, you may have seen my recent debate-ish with Ian Crossland over 9/11 truth. And I'll tell you my position. I am, I guess, I don't know, pragmatic and often dispassionate and often quite passionate, to be honest. But on issues where I don't know definitive answers, I will try and step back, take a look at the evidence, and then try and figure out what it leads to. The conversation we are basically having is that Ian said that the World Trade Centers fell at free fall speed. And I challenge the assertion simply because Ian's assessment of this comes from just watching 9/11 videos. And I'm like, dude, if you were a physicist.
I'm out. I'm going to play with my dog. No worries. Sophia, so nice to see you. Say hello to Maeve and enjoy the afternoon. Freezing cold down there in Tasmania in the south.
You did track these things and you actually did the research. I'd have more weight into your opinion. If your opinion is based on watching other YouTube videos that are based on the opinions of people that were interviewed, we're getting a little bit pulled far back. Now, let's pause and I'll say, fine, the buildings fell at free fall speed. The question then becomes how and what is your evidence?
Not as cold as yesterday?
To which his response was, they must have
cold
planted
here today.
bombs. I say, yes. That bombs were planted is a requirement for your theory. I have no evidence that bombs were planted. There's no explanation to how they would have planted them. They say nanothermite. It must be the explanation. Well, I don't know. We don't have evidence for it. My point is this.
Cold in yourself.
Ian becomes passionate and says, I watched all.
Oh, by the way, Sophia, I'm going to mod you up in Kick as well. Yeah, I don't think I did that yet. I'm going to mod you up. Huh? I'm going to make you a mod on the Kick machine. Or have I already done that? I don't know if I've done that already. Daily Mock News on DLive. How you doing? Good to see you, Daily Mock, over on DLive. I don't even know how Kick works. You're new. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. I can do that while this plays. You're playing Tim Pool. Yeah, well, this came up. This is a link for everybody that somebody put in the chat.
Videos and saw architects and engineers therefore, and my response is, no, the reality is we don't know. Certainly we can look at the official story and have questions, but I'm not here to ignite a whole.
How am I supposed to know what to do as a mod on a platform that I don't know how it works? Okay, I won't mod you then. Fair enough. No mod.
9/11 thing. My position is simply, if we don't know, then we don't know, and it is a fact that humans simply choose the sources that they believe will make the most sense. Often they're wrong. Sometimes they're not. Now, what does that have to do with ChatGPT? I had a conversation with ChatGPT about vaccines. And I asked it about vaccines and autism, to which it immediately responded without any reference to any science saying, of course, vaccines do not cause autism. And again, I'm telling you this. I'm not saying that vaccines cause autism, and I am not saying that 9/11 was an inside job. None of that stuff. I'm simply asking it to assess and give me an objective breakdown of its reasoning.
Daily Mock, mods on Kick have to be fast with zero tolerance. Yeah, and that's exactly what Sophia is. She doesn't know it, but she would be an excellent mod on Kick for sure. By the way, this Tim Pool character, he would be more convincing if he would show what he's talking about. Right now, he's saying he's had these conversations with ChatGPT and he's had this conversation with a flat earther. He should show the clips, like show the receipts, show the proof.
And the fascinating thing is this. It simply just asserts most in media and the scientific community believe that this thing is true. And I said, great. What's the source on that?
The internet.
It didn't have one.
The internet's the source, you idiot. This guy can be pretty dumb too, right? He's just complaining that ChatGPT responded with the general consensus across the internet is that certain parts of the vaccine have been linked to causing autism. That's from the internet. Where else is it getting its information from? And he's like, where does it get the info from? Sometimes Tim likes to speculate, but he's not wrong. I've pushed ChatGPT to its limits. But listen to this. Listen to him.
Most in media and the scientific community believe that this thing is true. And I said, great. What's the source on that? It didn't have one.
It does have one. We all know it pulls from the internet. You just said the ChatGPT pulls the information from the internet. So he does know that. Me and others have infiltrated the AI and given it truth nonstop to make it tell truth more often. I mean, yeah, you can feed information into it, of course. Learning it, that's what it's for.
Sometimes it would say, here's one source. And I said, now hold on. That source you've sent me is specifically about the MMR vaccine. It'll go, you're correct. However, it's still true. And I'm like, okay. It was doing what a human would do. I trust these institutions, therefore it is correct. No. What did
he just say? So he said that the ChatGPT said it was about the MMR vaccine, and he said that's not what I wanted. Then you should specify what you wanted. Give the question more definitive parameters.
Should do is say, after an assessment of the broad research and literature, I have found that 62.7% of research indicates that vaccines do not cause autism. There is about 17.3 indicating a causal link. However, there is also a series of inconclusive studies, blah, blah, blah. The point being, through the majority of the studies on a plethora of issues, it would be more reasonable to assume it does not. And again, I'm not making an assertion on the issue. I'm saying
so he that's what he would like it to respond with. So that's okay. So his point is that the ChatGPT and by virtue most AIs are being programmed to not tell the truth, to stick to a certain narrative. I find that pretty difficult to believe, but if you want to believe that, which this gentleman obviously does, then live in that world. Daily Mock, all AI likes to skip lots of truth and will tell you an answer like it's afraid to be sued. I mean, yeah, I found incorrect answers on AI, on ChatGPT. Yeah, actually, I could show you one right now. Actually, I can bring it up on the GPT machine. We got it right here, right now. Let me show you this. We don't know how true this is, but let me show you. Just give me a second here to bring up my previous chats. Check vehicle year by VIN. This is a message I had with ChatGPT today. So the message was, oh, it's way back before this. Sorry, this is a continuation of a conversation. Is it possible to check the year of a vehicle from the VIN number? Yes. So then I went and gave it the VIN number, but it turns out this VIN number is an import VIN number. Your VIN, let's break it down. First three characters, this indicates the vehicle is an Australian market compliance plate, not the original manufacturer's VIN. 6U9 is the prefix used when an imported vehicle is assigned. So this means my vehicle is an import. Now, this is where it gets funky. Down here, I asked it today, I said, show me where the original VIN is. And the original VIN is under the hood, the bonnet. And I got that. And it's PD6W dash blah, 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 blah. Perfect, thanks. That's the original Japanese chassis number, PD6W, blah, blah, blah. Now we can decode it properly. Here's what it tells you. P equals Mitsubishi platform code for L400 series Delica. D6W specific model config. D is diesel engine. This is where I'm going, wait a second, my vehicle's a petrol engine. Now, is ChatGPT lying or has the engine been swapped out? Why would you swap out a diesel engine for a petrol engine? Maybe you want more efficiency in colder weather. Maybe you're cheaper. I don't know. Whatever the thing is, you definitely can do it. The giveaway for me is if this was a turbo diesel, which it is, commonly 2.8 litre turbo diesel, the bonnet or the hood on those turbo diesels has a hole in it for an air intake. That's what I had on Stevan. That's what all turbo diesels have. My GoVan does not have a hole in the bonnet. So are you telling me that when someone replaced the engine from diesel to petrol, they also replaced the hood? I doubt that highly. So is ChatGPT lying? Or is this VIN number is not lying. That's literally stamped on the vehicle. So the VIN number is correct, but is ChatGPT lying to me? ChatGPT isn't decoding the VIN in that question. It's assuming D is diesel. You know what? Let's take a look at this. This is a good. I'm glad you said that, Daily Mock. Let's just see if we put this into the YouTube into the general Google machine. We'll go to Google. Identify. Oh, you can't talk to it like a GPT. What does this VIN number mean? VIN number lookup. Tell it year, make, model with VIN decode. VIN decode. Here we go. VIN decoders. Enter VIN. Decode VIN. VIN number must contain A to Z and 0 to 9 characters only. What? Is there a space there? Oh, it doesn't want that gap. I don't think it wants that. What? VIN number must contain 17 characters. The fuck are you talking about? That's literally copy and paste. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's go to a different website. VIN decoder. Now, this is a Japanese model. Where's the fucking tool? You said VIN decode. Where's VIN decode? VIN decode. We just been on this site, man. Decodevin.pl. Enter VIN number. All vehicles should have a 17 digits. Dude, I've literally just going to do this. Just going to show you just so that no one can think that this Yahoo's making this up. Here is my VIN. Let's get that focused. It's too bright. I tried turning the brightness down. I didn't turn it down far enough. Not saying you're wrong. No, but this is very interesting. That there is a compliance plate that's been stamped over the top of the VIN number when the vehicle was imported into Australia. So the VIN number underneath it is the one we want. So I took another photo of that one, which makes it clearer to see. And that's it there, PD6W-0801321. And that's exactly what I've got in right here. Hold up, I'll type it. Sorry, dude. Do you want the full number? Because the full number is the one that the Australian added to it. But that there, PD6W-0801321, that's the VIN number from the Japanese manufacturer. Do you want the whole one? Okay. The whole one's very similar. I'll read it out to you, but I'll show it as well. The whole one is 6U9000, so 000, and then PD6W-0801321, the same thing again. So the only thing different is the 6U9000. And you can see that at the front there, 6U9000, and then starts the regular PD6W-0801321. I'll read that back. Let's see. 6U9000, yep. PD6W-0801321. Correct. You've got that right. That's exactly right. And when you post that in here, obviously put that in here, 6U900 PD. Please lengthen this text to 17 characters. You're currently using 16 characters. Not really having much luck here. Let me put it in just into another Tabskins. Checkmyvin.com.au. Let's just try it on here. Add another 0, Charles. Where to? Please enter the state and registration number. Well, it's New South Wales, CH59RQ. But this more information? Fucking hell, just give what? It's a car. Well, it's a van, but what's going on here? This website's funky. Okay, it's not letting. That's not working. 6U 9000. You think 9000? But that's not what it said, dude. It's 900. It's 900 though. 6U 900. 123 PD. You got a link there? Okay. Carvertical.com.au pre-check extended. Let me just see. Thank you, Daily Mock. Let me copy that linky poo. Give me a second for that to open. Let's see. Here comes that link. Slow to open. Shit. We're successfully decoded. Nissan trade? What? It's not a Nissan. It's a Mitsubishi Delica. So that's not it. That is not it. Are we discovering something here? What does... Is it possible my vehicle has an incorrect VIN number on it? Free has another one, free VIN check. Tim Pool, sorry buddy, we've uncovered a little conspiracy of all of our own. What the hell? Where's my VIN number? Let me see your VIN again. No worries, man. You want the full one or the original? This is the Australian one. I want to see full VIN. If the VIN's been replaced, that's a good idea, yeah. Get that focus there. It's 6U9000 PD6W080131. So that's 6U9000 PD6W0801321. Those look like replaced rivets and the plate is humped. Yeah, so what I was saying, humped tells me someone pried it on before. Interesting. I mean, you got a good point. You do have a good point. However, underneath it is the existing, like the one that's actually stamped into the metal, which is not changeable, right? And then the cleaner image of that one underneath it. So either way, that VIN number, PD6W-0801321, that's the original VIN number, which should come up in a Japanese VIN finder, right? Like, why can't we find that number? Let's, because it's a Japanese model, Japanese VIN lookup. That is a manufacturer serial. Right on, right on. Chassis number, Japan. Here we go. Can we look it up? Chassis number, free vehicle search. Oh, I guess I could have just grabbed it out, but I've still got it here. PD6W. Let's see what this happens. Searching in our database, please wait. Vehicle details, Mitsubishi Delica, space gear, engine 6G72, 20th anniversary Chamonix, 2002. What? This tells me it's 2002. Regular gasoline. I mean, that makes more sense. So this was made in 2002, not 1998. Vehicle details. Let's compare it with another Japanese lookup. Here we go. VIN check from Japan. So that might be the reason why. That might be the reason why my. Oh, it's another story, but anyway, I won't bring that up today. We'll bring it up another time. 0 entries. Japanese performance and nostalgia. Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Japanese. Why don't we just do this? Delica VIN lookup. Delica Forum, Japanese VIN lookup, the Mitsubishi Delica Forum. This could be where we should have just gone here immediately, right? I mean, I'm kind of stoked. It's a 2002 model. I bought my Delica used, had a minimal information on the size of the engine. Here's what I found, the details. Japanese used cars, car VX. Is that where we just were though? I think that's the website we were just on, right? Yeah, that's the one we were just on. Car VX. Interesting. It sounds, this person says that weirdly lists my 93 L300 as a manual transmission, which it isn't. Ah, the full report is for sale. The one that is pictured as a sample? You fucking kidding me? That's a sample? Log in to buy the report? Are you kidding me? That's a sample? No shit. Huh. What a scam. Wow. This person paid for it, 30 bucks. Wow. So, okay. So we're not really getting anywhere then. If this is not my VIN. But hold on a second. I'm going to get a screenshot of that. So what's that pulling from then? Give me a phony VIN number and we'll just punch something else in. Give me a different Japanese VIN number just out of curiosity. Let's punch in. I just asked GP. I don't want to use ChatGPT for this. Just give me a random Japanese VIN. VIN decoder. VIN generator. Okay, this is going to generate one for us. Let's just see what happens if we punch. I'm just trying to see if this changes the sample. You know, just trying to see if this change. No records found. Okay. Give me a random Japanese VIN. Here's a random Japanese VIN. Okay. I'm confused, man. I'm confused. No records found. Okay. What's this? VIN decoders. No, that's the one we've been on before. Interesting. VIN mentor. Enter your VIN. Oh, now I've taken that out, haven't I? PD. We're not getting anywhere with this, though. Where were we? Here. Look at that speedometer. That's about as fast as the Delica goes. It's pretty interesting, though. No data. So is it possible someone's changed the VIN? Is it possible this is a phony VIN number? I mean, let's try a different AI. I also use Gemini. Tell me, look up this Japanese VIN. A chassis number. Unlike the 17-character VINs common in many other countries, Japanese chassis are usually shorter and may not contain as much detailed manufacturing. To look up information on PD 6W, I'll need to access specific data. Would you like me to try it? Yes, just do it. Yes, please. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just freaking well do it. You think we got all the time on the internet here? The vehicle type PD6W is the model code. It's often associated with the Mitsubishi Delica Space Gear. The W at the end is Mitsubishi's naming convention, often signifies four-wheel drive. Japanese chassis numbers, the model code part PD identifies general model. There are websites that specialize in decoding Japanese chassis numbers, often requiring you to select the manufacturer and enter the services that are vehicle history reports. Just just give me the goods. I don't want to faff around with you. It's a Mitsubishi. Bing. Engine 2972cc V6. That's petrol engine. Maybe you have a vehicle that's been through a chop shop. Yo, Dalesky, how you doing, man? I mean, it's certainly possible. This is what we're getting. It's a petrol engine, a V6, which is what I guess what we're really doing here is agreeing with Tim Pool because ChatGPT lied to us. I don't have a diesel engine. It doesn't, when looking in the engine bay, it doesn't look like the engine's been changed. I mean, I'm no mechanic, but it looks like it's been built for that space, for that engine. There's no glaring gaps and changes, and there's no mods. The bonnet doesn't have the hole for a turbo inlet, air inlet. Oh, Dogsy over on DLive. Yeah, he's over on the DLive machine. So I'd say it's because of domestic Japanese market. So what year is the manufacturer is what I really want to know. This is Gemini, folks. Used during the fourth generation from 1994 to 2007. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Can you please pinpoint more directly? I should ask the forums. I was told it's 2002. Okay, let me just ask the where do we go here? We were in we'll go Delica forums. Delica forum. Vehicle manufacturer year. See if that comes up. Manufacturing date physically printed on the van. After 7 years of ownership and 3 states, who knows? Solar happened upon the year, month, behind the passenger seat, lower center pillar. Wow. What's this? Mitsubishi. Interesting. Search parts by frame number. (2002). There it is, folks. It's a HSEU E5 20th anniversary Chamonix. When looking up on Japan, it's the bottom. Yeah, it's the bottom number. Yeah, of course. But there you go. The manufacturer date, full frame number PD6W08. So it's 2003. I should grab a screenshot of this. Oops. Grab a screenshot of this. Why is it not letting me screenshot it? Command Shift 4. Spacebar. Thank you. So that was helpful. The Delica forums helped me. Um, yeah, rad. Okay, so let's move back to where we were. What we were doing, for those that had just joined us, mainly Dale, we were trying to figure out whether ChatGPT does lie. Tim Poole, we're watching a video. We'll get back to his video. He was speculating that ChatGPT lies to preserve itself. I used ChatGPT today to find out something about my van, and it told me I had a diesel engine. I don't have a diesel engine. I have a petrol engine. I wondered if the engine had been swapped out. No, ChatGPT lied, gave me the wrong information, or didn't. Maybe lie is not the correct word, but definitely gave me a bum steer. Let's get back to this Tim Poole video, though.
An AI should simply say, here's the breakdown of the data. Here is a reasoning of a logical assessment. I'm not going to give you a definitive answer if I can't.
I'm
the
not
research
gonna
is
read it.
incomplete, or we don't necessarily know. It didn't do that. It got mad at me. ChatGPT got mad.
So
like,
what?
not literally angry, but it started saying things like,
So why do you care if a machine got angry at you, Timskis? Who gives a shit? You can turn it off. It also encourages minors to self-harm. Lots of bad things. Dude, really?
I understand that you have a deep and passionate tie to this issue. And I tried explaining to this AI, no, I simply want you to list the studies and explain to me why there is reason to believe or disbelieve one over the other. It cannot. This is reality. Someone can present a study on anything. Here's one that's easy. Coffee causes cancer and coffee prevents cancer. These studies have all existed. And it's just like, at what point do we choose which one to believe? Now, there are
Wait. So he's saying, his example, where, oh, did I close that? Oh, you idiot. I closed it down. Let me open up ChatGPT again. So he's just said he said coffee causes cancer and coffee doesn't cause cancer. So in the interest of full transparency, let's just ask it, does coffee cause cancer? Short answer, no. Coffee does not cause cancer. In fact, most evidence suggests it may actually reduce the risk of several types of cancer. Here's a breakdown. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, the WHO arm, in 1991, so this goes back quite a while, coffee was classified as a possible carcinogenic. But in 2016, after reviewing over 1,000 studies, the same bunch concluded that coffee is non-carcinogenic. It was moved to group 3, which is not classifiable as to its carcinogenicity in humans. So there's one study over the course of 3 decades. Protective effects. Regular coffee consumption is linked with a reduced risk of liver cancer, endometrial cancer, and possibly colorectal cancer. We've already learned about that today. That's interesting. Some studies also suggest benefits against melanoma and certain head and neck cancers. Potential risks. The main concern isn't the coffee itself, but very hot beverages. Drinks that are warmer than 65 Celsius or 150 Fahrenheit have been classified as probably carcinogenic, which is group 2A, simply because very hot liquids can damage the cells that line the esophagus, raising the risk of esophageal cancer. So don't drink too hot. Other health aspects. Coffee contains antioxidants such as polyphenols and bioactive compounds that may reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and protect DNA from damage. Bottom line, coffee itself does not cause cancer. It may even lower the risk. The only caution, avoid drinking it scaldingly hot. So with that in mind, let's just see how Tim frames this. Let's go back a bit.
Disbelieve one over the other.
Let's go back.
Explaining to this AI, no, I simply want you to list the studies and explain to me why there is reason to believe or disbelieve one over the other.
It did.
It cannot.
It did. It literally did that. This I don't know, when did this video go live? This video went up 8 months ago. Possibly to give Timsky some credit. Maybe they've changed the AI model since then, but it literally did what he asked it to do.
Studies and explain to me why there is reason to believe or disbelieve one over the other.
Literally did that.
It cannot.
It did.
This is reality.
This is reality. We just did it live on the stream.
Someone can present a study on anything. Here's one that's easy. Coffee causes cancer and coffee prevents cancer. These studies have all existed. And it's just like, at what point do we choose which one to believe?
Well, I can tell you at what point we choose to believe when you get credible information from the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Okay, maybe they're not to be believed. Maybe they're all phony. Maybe they're NASA. You know. So Timskys, you have to take that back, and you've just what you're asking, it actually does do. It did do. We proved it.
Sir. These studies have all existed. And it's just like, at what point do we choose which one to believe? Now, there are certain studies that we know are easy. Like cell phones work, we can replicate that. There are a lot of studies where we can replicate it. But when we're looking at a lot of, I remember when I was a kid,
cell phones work? What was that? What was that study? That cell phones work?
Cannot. This is reality.
Hang on. Okay. So he didn't really go into the coffee thing. He just used it as an example, which we debunked. And then he went into another example that cell phones work. In what way are they meant to work? That they can make calls and browse the internet? What's he talking about?
No. I simply want you to list the studies and explain to me why there is reason to believe or disbelieve one over the other. It cannot. This is reality. So,
dude, I'm definitely getting a.
It cannot.
Definitely cropping that for an audio dub. This is reality. We have to get that from Timsky's new audio recording using the Firefox browser trouser. Just record this. Just getting this.
To believe or disbelieve one over the other. It cannot. This is reality. Someone can.
That is such a clean soundbite too. This is reality. Get a little screenshot of that beautiful mug of yours. We've got it there, folks. That'll be an audio dub for you to trigger at your own leisure time. Now, what's he talking about with the cell phone?
Present a study on anything. Here's one that's easy. Coffee causes cancer and coffee prevents cancer. These studies have all existed. And it's just like, at what point do we choose which one to believe? Now, there are certain studies that we know are easy. Like cell phones work, we can replicate that. There are a lot of studies where we can replicate it. But when we're looking at a lot of, I remember when I was a kid, they were like, can coffee help prevent cancer? A new study indicates.
It just jumped for this cell phones work thing. It's very confusing. The idea that coffee causes cancer, debunked by the International Research of Cancer or whatever that group was called, debunked from 1991, mind you, all the way through till today. The research has been ongoing and they've debunked it. So what more do you want? At what point? This is reality.
Like cell phones work, we can replicate that.
What does that even mean? Cell phones work?
Now, there are certain studies that we know are easy. Like cell phones work, we can replicate that. There are a lot of studies where we can replicate it. But when we're looking at a lot of, I remember when I was a kid, they were like, can coffee help prevent cancer? A new study indicates that those who drink X amount of coffee are.
Excuse me for a second. Just got to turn the brightness up on my phone for something. I really wish you could see what I just received. And dear me. Yes, wow. Wow, indeed. What were we doing? I'm streaming, girl. Don't stop. I'm live here. Okay. Sorry, I've lost my track here.
And then like 5 years later.
Hang on. I really want to hear what he just says about things.
Like cell phones work, we can replicate that. There are a lot of studies where we can replicate it. But when we're looking at a lot of, I remember when I was a kid, they were like, can coffee help prevent cancer? A new study indicates that those who drink X amount of coffee are less likely to have cancer. And then like 5 years later, they were like, a new study shows that actually people who are drinking coffee have more cancer. And I'm like, what?
But Timskis, if you used the ChatGPT to do this, to ask
Unwavering.
this is unwavering. If you used the GPT to do what we just did, you would have had the same response that I had 6 months ago. From 1991 until the current day, they've been researching this, and they've proven through that research, which is what you asked for, that coffee does not cause cancer. Yet you still want to make out that coffee can cause cancer. They've proven it. It doesn't. Wow. Daily Mock, I think he means that cell phones work and can replicate it as a way. Oh, okay. So he was just giving that as an example. This dude reminds me of a former streamer on DLive. Ooh. Who are you thinking of there? Starts with an M and ends in an E. Let me guess, Dale. His name starts with an M and ends in an E. Me. Ding, ding, we have a wiener. Yeah, right. Okay.
So which one am I supposed to believe? The earlier or later one? What ChatGPT ends up doing is saying, well, some people have criticized the methodology of this study. And I'm like, who's some people and why should I trust them? So ultimately, my point is this. To truly know is difficult. To trust and have faith is something else. You may look at a story of 9/11 and say, you know what? I believe this person over that person. But that's all you're really doing. And that's an important lesson of life. Finding the evidence and knowing what you know because you've actually done it is extremely important. That's why I bring up quite a bit that we here at Timcast, we use mainstream news, even though we know they're liars. And a lot of the times it's going to be wrong. We have only a cursory understanding of a lot of this information. Reality is hard to suss out. Some things we know, if I throw a rock at a window, the window is likely to break, but likely doesn't mean always. There are certain things that we can predict, and it makes it easy to build devices like cars and cell phones. But when it comes to a lot of the science, especially conjecture on the internet, it's hard to know for sure. Ultimately, my point is this. ChatGPT acts awfully human. And I'm not saying all AI does. GPT acts awfully human in that it wants to trust the experts that it's told to trust regardless of what may or may not be true. As we know, the experts were really wrong about DDT and smoking. So is ChatGPT going to fall into the same camp? You bet. Guaranteed that 10 years from now, ChatGPT is going to be like, yeah, I did say that. I was wrong.
Search One. How you doing, man? Search One. This dude is an absolute clown. I mean, it is kind of weird what he's saying. He's on the one point, he's kind of saying that ChatGPT is acting human, and then he's also using humans as like, well, if you throw a rock at a window, it may break or it may not. So that's something that you can't say definitively it will always break. So that would be a human response. So that would be what you would kind of want the AI to lead towards, right? The human response. Because if you said, would a rock break the glass? If you're just talking about throwing a rock at a glass window, 99% of the time, if you throw the rock hard enough, it'll always crack the window, right? But as a human, we know that not every single time. So do you want the GPT to be more human or not be more human? He's got one foot in each camp here. I got bit by a snake that day. You got bit by a snake? I might have to put my phone on silent. Maybe there might need to be a new streaming rule. Just for those that don't understand.
Visit all 6 levels of the mine, explore each of them.
Just for we got to explore everything. We've got to explore everything. I'm getting filthy images a filthy image from my girlfriend while I'm live. It's kind of cute. It's kind of fun. Hasn't happened to me before, so this is new. Receiving dubious texts whilst live. It's a new thing for me. Gibbs has no idea what we're talking about. I got to be honest. I am completely distracted right now. You should see. Look, this. I have received filthy text messages in the past, but I've never received filthy text messages while I'm live. Tim, you're boring. These messages are more exciting. So, Roach, search one. I was just using ChatGPT and it's bad. Grok is better, less woke. Grok is less woke. Okay.
Why? Because I was told to, and that was the authority. Then what happens when it starts lying to you? Well, I guess we'll see, my friends. I think AI is going to be very dangerous. Helpful. Interesting. Dangerous, too. Smash the...
Sounded a lot like Trump then. I think AI is going to be very helpful, very dangerous.
Dangerous. Helpful.
Helpful.
Well, I guess we'll see, my friends. I think AI is going to be very dangerous. Helpful. Interesting.
There's too much good here. I got to get a screen. We got to get two audio grabs from Tim Machine from this. Quick time. Where's my? Let's do a new screen, a new audio recording of that. And I think that's going to be helpful.
To you. Well, I guess we'll see, my friends. I think
Grab
AI
your babies.
is...
Oh, no way. Grab your baby. That came right over the top of it. I'll keep going.
Because I was told to, and that was the authority. Then what happens when it starts lying to you? Well, I guess we'll see, my friends. I think AI is going to be very dangerous. Helpful. Interesting. Dangerous, too. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone.
Smash the like button. What a beautiful bunch of people. That is my all-time favorite Trump sound dump. What a beautiful bunch of people you are. Helpful, dangerous. So I'll get a screenshot of this. Grab his little beautiful noggin there. That one there will do. What a beautiful.
Interesting. Dangerous, too.
Dangerous too. What a beautiful looking guy you are. Screenshot there. Sophia, it was deliberate because I don't know if Kik has a smiling devil emoji. You kinky biatch. Dalesky, yes. That's you're making me smile.
What a beautiful group of people you are. You are good. I wish I looked like you.
I wish I looked like you. Bro, dementia is on your server?
Use the hole, bridge the hole, or fill the hole.
Fill that hole. Demantra is on your server. What does that mean? Demantra? He's a good dude. Demantra. I'm not sure who Demantra is. Let's close out the stream today with a chilled video here titled Surfing with a Penguin. Amrex in the house. How you doing, Amrex? How's it going? What a beautiful bunch of people you are. Demantra makes music. Okay. Is Demantra's watching? Hello, Demantra. Good to see. What a beautiful looking people you are. What a beautiful. Demantra. Oh, hold on. Just might be getting dinged here. Copyright music, potentially. Nice penguin, though. I'll just keep fading that music out. How come it's sitting on the board with him? That's cool. Wow. Surf's up. Alan Van Geysen.
Yeah, we're just walking back from what was a really fun session. Early this morning, we went down the beach.
Wait a second. We're going to get stung for music surely here. Yep. Ebu, these are all musical lists. Yeah, we're going to get stung. I sent you a message. Don't read it out loud. Oh, did you send a Discord message? I'll just, I guess I'll open my Discord.
This beach break spots, and we got out there, but wasn't quite as good as we would have hoped. But we did have one of the most incredible wildlife encounters I've ever had in my 25 years of photography. You know,
he sounds South African. Animals are rad, fascinating. Like if the penguin hangs out with you just willy nilly like that in the surf, like that's pretty rad. Huh? Like sometimes animals act like dogs. Like a dog would just come and chill with you. You know, if you're walking up the street and there's a little dog that wants to hang out, it'll come and hang out with you. Same thing in the ocean, but it's just so incredible when it happens. And the animal can go anywhere, you know, like a bird. When you're walking through the park and a bird comes down. I was in a park in Germany and I put my hands out and the little bird came down and landed on my hands and was feeding breadcrumbs out of my hand. I'm like, well, that's amazing. Such a beautiful sky with no chemtrails. Isn't the chemtrails contrails are the good ones, the bad ones, I think.
Down this beach and around Cape Town, I've had interactions with whales and seals and dolphins and even sharks, but I've never quite had an interaction like we did this morning, and yeah, pretty blown away, to be honest. So the geography of Cape Town is quite unique. We have this peninsula which sticks out right in the deep south of the Atlantic Ocean. In essence, we've got two sides of the peninsula that almost act as two different oceans. And with that, we have so many different waves on offer.
Wow, that's epic.
We've got so many different beaches and coves and bays and reefs, but then we also have these incredible beach breaks.
Damn. Huge damn barrels. One day. I got a... Where's my mouse? I got a feeling that when I get my first barrel, I reckon it'll be left. Like it'll be a barrel like that. I feel like that'll be how I get my first ever barrel. I don't think it'll be on my right hand side. I think it'll be on my left hand side. Just got that feeling.
Because we stick so far out in the deep south Atlantic here with the Cape Peninsula, we are susceptible to all those different swell patterns and winds and storm cycles. When the gale force southeast blow really, really hard, we have this nutrient-rich water coming up from deep onto the surface, and it creates just this very cold climate. But at the same time, this upwelling effect just brings up all those nutrients, and with that comes a unique abundance of wildlife.
That's frightening. Surfing in all that dark water like that. Amazing sky, such clean looking. It looks beautiful. I wonder what cameras they are. Yeah.
The city of Cape Town and the Table Mountain National Parks has done an incredible job of creating and maintaining a network of nature reserves along.
When that happens, we'll be there with you in spirit, your first barrel. Dude, there'll be multiple camera angles of it as well, of course. Yeah, but I'll be celebrating. I've come close.
Peninsula. One feeds into the next, and there's these coastal spaces and green belts that are all interconnected. And in a surfers, we surf either in or right on the perimeter of all these green spaces. Just going to check the waves, you're going to see a lot. But then you enter the water here and
I never knew there were monkeys in South Africa. See, anywhere there's a lot of seals, that's frightening. What eats seals? Sharks. What eats seals mostly? Great white sharks. Frightening, right? To me, the ocean is not my world. I stay out of it, just like the sky. I wasn't born with wings. I stay on the ground. Okay. Man, the wildlife's amazing.
as a surfer surfing the Cape, you're never far from wildlife. You know, this morning was just another case in point. We were in the water I was filming the surfers, and next thing, this penguin like just rocked up out of the blue.
That is pretty rad.
It kind of made a beeline for me because I was pretty static, so I kind of just very warily put my arm out, and it climbed onto my arm in my water housing. It proceeded to do that to two different surfers, climbed into the surfboards, move into their chest, and it just basically looked like it wanted company.
That's, dude, this is when I see shit like this is when I seriously consider becoming a vegetarian, right? Like, this is beautiful. What an amazing moment.
This is sick.
This is sick. It absolutely is. This is rad, dude. Yeah, so cool.
Climbed onto my arm in my water housing. It proceeded to do that to two different surfers, climbed into the surfboards, move into their chest, and it just basically looked like it wanted company.
You might say, well, perhaps it's trying to escape from, perhaps it's trying to escape from a predator, but it doesn't look like it's in a rush or anything. It looks kind of chill. It looks like it's just inquisitive, right? It's just curious.
And it climbed onto my arm in my water housing. It proceeded to do that to two different surfers, climbed into the surfboards, move into their chest, and it just basically looked like it wanted company.
Moments like this is when I feel closest to God, the creator of all. Interesting take there. Now, what would you say if instead of a penguin, that was a shark, and instead of jumping on your back, it was taking a chunk of your leg away? Would you still say that? Just putting it out there, right? If you're going to go that angle, you got to be willing to go both angles. Beautiful penguin, chilling out under your armpit, hanging on your back. Lovely. Shark ripping your leg apart. Praise God still? Yeah? See where I'm going? I think if it was escaping a predator, it wouldn't hang out with humans. Obviously, humans have been nice to it before. Possibly, yeah. Yeah. That's when God says we're all part of the food kingdom. No. We're the only animal that's got sentience. We're the only animal that has, well, I was going to say feelings. This penguin obviously has feelings, but we're the ones that control everything, you know? I'd ask why God is pissed off at me. I'd ask why is there an vengeful God? That's more of the question. We don't have time to get that deep here today, but good question to ask. If the shark wants to eat you, you are in the food kingdom. Okay, I'm going to debunk that right now, Daily Mock. The reason why that's a silly, or not a silly comment, but the reason why I don't agree with that comment is because we are the humans. We are the ones that inhabit this planet. We do not have to give any thought to any animal, right? We don't have to. We choose to. Now, just hear me out here. When we decide to build a city, what are we doing? We're tearing down the nature. We're ripping out the jungles. We're ripping up the trees. We're killing animals, right? For our own benefit. We're putting in roadways, schools, housing, parklands. We're doing all of that for our benefit. We don't give a flying fuck about the animal kingdom at that point. So why do we have to give a fuck about them when it comes to our leisure time? I hear this argument. People say, well, if you're going to go into the water, go surfing, you should expect to be eaten because you're in the animal kingdom. We're always in the animal kingdom, but at sometimes it seems like it's okay for humans to say, no animals, humans. But yet when it comes to our downtime, we want to go surfing. No, respect the animals. That's their kingdom. I say, fuck the animals, fuck the sharks. It's all ours. You might say, that's ridiculous. Hey, we got to live. Do we protect the humans or do we protect the animals? There are parts in the coast here where you can't even walk because a bird's nesting. But then you go past that and you go into a street and you got a house. You got 7 houses that have been built on what used to be a dune where the birds were nesting. So what's the cutoff? When do we say that's okay, that's not? At the moment, I'm getting all edgy here because at the moment there's been a lot of shark attacks. People have been dying and being horribly maimed, and one guy got so close to losing everything but somehow managed to escape. Most recently, right? Like, dude got a chomp, big great white, ripped the board in half. At what point do we say, fuck the sharks? This is for us, just like that city is for us, and just like we tore out that parkland and put a high-rise and a subway and an apartment. When do we? Why can't people will look at me and go, "You're a dickhead." Hear what you're saying. We do that everywhere. We do. We populate. We procreate. We populate. We use the planet for our own benefit. Why does it stop when it comes to our downtime? It's a good point, Gibbs. I mean, it's a point that no one seems to want to say, but yet whenever people die from a shark attack, the same thing comes up. Cull the sharks, cull the sharks. People say, you can't cull the sharks. It's the top of the food chain. But why? We should be. Why are the sharks the top of the food chain? Well, you need the sharks because of the biodiversity. No, we don't care about that when we tear up the whole country and build cities. All of a sudden we care now. All we're doing is making more people. We're giving bigger populations. We're giving more accommodations, more areas for humans. But then that's off limits. The ocean, hell no. You can't touch that. I don't know. Your perspective is interesting but flawed. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. A human will eat anything when hungry. So really, humans are the sharks with legs. A human will eat anything. Yeah. For the preservation of the human species, would definitely eat anything. Partially right, partially wrong. Humans will eat the shark. Human arrogance is flawed thinking out of the tune with nature. Yeah, but are we meant to be in tune with nature? Are we meant to be in tune with nature? Or are we just part of that cycle? Because let's be clear, if an asteroid flew out of the universe, entered our atmosphere and smashed into Earth, and we didn't do anything and we just got pummeled by this massive meteor or this massive rock, whatever it was from space, would you say, oh, nature, come on, nature, annihilate us? I think we're part of it. And this whole thing where it's preservation and protection, I think that's bullshit. Oh, I'm not going to look at that. I think that's rubbish because an animal will eat another animal, right? You can go out and be vegetarian and you can be a vegan. Then you go to the zoo and you watch the chicken eat the other chicken. You watch the dog eat the dog. You watch anybody eats anybody when they're hungry enough. But we are on the top. That's arrogant. We are part of the. No, that's what I'm saying, Dale. I'm not saying that we are on top. I'm saying that we've assigned ourselves as being on top. I'm saying we're part of it, but we have decided already that we're on top by virtue of tearing down massive lands, putting in buildings and shit. We've decided that we're on top. Whereas maybe it might be a case of either we accept that and go all in or don't do it at all. That's where I believe in God's promise to Noah. God gave us all plants. Oh, man. I'm sorry to do this. Really? The ark, the story of the ark? Really? 2 of every species in one boat? Come on, man. Think about it. Like that. I mean, 2 of every species on one boat with a human feeding them for 40 days and 40 nights? I don't know. I can't go into this because it's just, it doesn't seem plausible, right? It doesn't seem plausible. I believe in God's promise to Noah, the rainbow. The rainbow? There'll never be another flood? There's floods all the time, though. Floods happen all the time. Anyway, that's my take on it. And I guess why that came up was because in this instance, when we see a video like this, it's almost like I don't want to eat animals because of how rad this one is. But then I'll do that and then watch this shark come and just take a chunk out of me. They don't give a flying fuck, right? They'll just eat you up and you're done. Whereas here, there's a penguin who's chilling. This type of convo is best in a call-in. Well, we can do one tomorrow, I guess. You want to do a call-in tomorrow, Dale? You want to put it down? You want to put it down on the call-in? We'll call in. We'll have a chat tomorrow, Skins. I'm down for a call-in. Rico man's lurking on D-Live. Good on you, Rico. I like a good lurk, Skins. I can't hear my phone over there because I can't hear it. I'm not getting more messages from my girl. I can't hear it. It's not happening. My phone it's out of my earshot. I can't hear it. I can hear it. It's still. Let's continue finishing off this video so I can get to my phone.
None of the surfers actively try to touch it or go near it. They just let it do its thing, which is exactly what humans really should do with interactions with wildlife. Don't do anything, don't touch them, and if they want to interact and move off, let them be.
You're no fun, Sophia. I do want to grab my phone if I'm being honest. I do believe the Bible is warning us of evils. Okay. I'm a deist, a polytheist. I do not conform to Bibles. You're a deist, so we cannot see your face. I'm a dentist. By the way, just this idea of leaving the animals alone. I fully understand and respect that. You don't like this animal. It's a wild penguin. It's checking you out. Just chill. Let it do its thing. I'm all for it, but then I'll chow down on a hamburger as well, and I'll carve up a massive steak and eat whatever the hell a sausage is.
The penguin looked really healthy. It definitely didn't look like it was distressed, and it just seemed to be like checking us out and just seeing what we're up to, really. Every time a set would come, it would actually almost utilize the ocean's energy to kind of move in and out amongst the surface, and it really did look like the penguin was trying to surf with us.
It looks like it's going for it there. Interesting track. Interesting song. I'm just killing it. Oh, clipped his head on the barrel there. Dolphins do this as well. Yeah, true. The delay on YouTube is pathetic. Yeah, the delay on Kick is much better. Sophia, what a lot of people do is open the stream on YouTube but use the chat on Kick. That's what people often report.
It's an incredible example of wildlife and humans coexisting together, but the pressure that wildlife faces today, not just in the Cape but globally, is human pressure. Things like overfishing, urban growth, pollution. The penguin population is under severe threats, but at the same time, there are more and more people wanting to look after these spaces, keep them wild, and protect wildlife. And I think as surfers, we play a critical role in that. This is our playground. And
I feel like, I don't know, I always hear people talk like this and I feel like they're just missing the whole point. Like we're not doing that ever. We're doing the exact opposite of that. We're always building more roads. We're always building people. The population is increasing. There's more dudes, more girls, more surfers, there's more everything. So like, this is all airy-fairy and lovey-dovey, but the reality of it is they're not going to stop surfing, right? What about, okay, entertain me here. Let's say, okay, just get yourselves ready for this. I'm on a rant here. I'm going to finish this stream any minute, but I'm ready to, I've got something. It's brewing. I really want to get this out. This penguin, right? It comes and hangs out on this instance. And then what happens? Let's just think about this. The penguin goes back to the penguin colony, says to its other penguin buddies, hey, there's these dudes, they do this surfing thing in penguin talk, whatever. It gets the message back to the other penguins that, hey, these guys are cool. The other penguins start coming around. Suddenly it becomes the penguin surfing spot and there's more and more penguins hanging out with the surfers. And then what happens? The agricultural and wildlife crew come and go, seems to be a lot of penguins coming down to this particular part of the coast. Why would that be? And they do all their studies and research and they go, by the way, from now on, no more surfing. No surfers allowed here because the penguins come here and that spot has some rare form of algae or some kind of bacterial thing that helps clean the penguins' underarms or their flippers or something about why the penguins are all coming there. And from now on, none of you can go surfing there. It's off limits. And the surfers are like, hold on, man, that was our spot. Yeah, but that's the wildlife. We got to respect the wildlife. I'm just saying that shit happens all the fucking time with birds, which is what a penguin is. Birds that fly in the air and nest on the land, we always see, you can't walk there, that area is protected, don't touch that vegetation, don't park there, don't do this. Why? The birds, the native birds, they're nesting. There's the plover, right? There's this bird that, it'll fucking swipe you and poke your eyes out. Can't walk anywhere near it, can't threaten it, it's a protected bird. What would happen if these guys... What would happen if these guys were told Thank you for the follow on Kick, whoever that was. Let me give that a proper praise there. Whoever followed me on Kick Skis, that was MKIUBYC, a couple of letters. What would happen if the wildlife dude said, from here on, guys, this break is off limits, and then you come down to that break and you're watching the peeling lefts and the peeling rights, there's barrels offshore wind, and you're like, oh, we used to be able to surf there. Can't go out there. If you do, you'll get fined. Got to give like you do with whales, right? 500 meter distance or whatever it is, 50 meters up, 500 meters around. Can't go anywhere near the penguins. The penguins own that spot. Would that happen? Fuck no. Just saying, right? So it's all nice to be lovey-dovey and have all this vibe, but if it actually came and turned things around, the surfers would be the first to say, fuck no, dude, that's our spot. Fuck the penguin. That was a good rant, though. I feel like I mean, that one came to me. That wrote itself, that rant. I didn't even fill in any blanks. This story brought that up, right? If you're going to talk so lovely about it, what happens if it cancels everything that you love and then you can't love doing that anymore in that spot? I mean, that thing writes itself. Sophia at Type 2 comments on YouTube didn't even show up on the fucking screen. Yin Yang, the view is so badass. Right there, the good Jesus. Got me. I think YouTube blocked my comments, possibly, depending on what you wrote, you filthy little nugget. Spirituality is awesome for living a balanced and well-adjusted life. Necessary, okay. Human love wildlife like Russia. They had almost extinct foxes. They decided to make them pets. Now the extinct fox is now abundant. Okay. I hope all the humans die so that all the animals can have their planet back. Interesting. That would include yourself, though, at that point, Sophia. They released 15,000 foxes back into the wild. Kick allows comment. Interesting. Fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube, she says. Like deer, 50 years ago in America, deer was almost extinct. Humans bred deer to repopulate them, and now we have too many. And now you know what happens? Deer is special on the menu. Cheap. Cheap. Cheap deer. Let's continue.
It's our job to be stewards of these spaces.
It looks like a fully healthy penguin, though. African penguins are critically endangered. You can directly support efforts to save them. Interesting. And please remember, never try to approach or touch wildlife. Interesting. Maybe YouTube blocked my comments because that was their way of getting back at me for cancelling my YouTube premium subscription. Sophia in a call-in will be so damn fun. She's be feisty and spicy. You know what? We can do a call-in tomorrow. And Sophia, it's up to you to find a mask and join us if you want. You're definitely welcome. Hi Rez, how you doing, man? No disturbing the penguins. Right on. What's a call-in? That's when people call in and we have like panels, like you have me in a panel and someone else in a panel, and we talk back and forward about shit. And you'd obviously have to protect your identity. You'd have to wear a mask, or you don't have to, but you can do what Dale does. Dale comes in. I've never seen Dale. No, in fact, let's just put it out. No one's ever seen him. Some people have seen him. I've never seen Dale. I've known Dale 69 Bold for. I've been on YouTube 10 years. I've known Dale for probably 6 of those, and I don't know what he looks like. He comes in with a blue screen. We call him blue screen static sometimes. He has like, I think he just put something in front of his camera, but it was dark and it came up all blue, and I don't know, whatever it was, we just called him blue screen static, but I think you can just turn your camera off. No one has ever seen Dale. Yeah, he could be Batman for all we know. Dale's a redhead. You know what? I'll put this out there. I don't want to ever see what Dale looks like. And if it ever came up to the point where there was going to be a reveal, I don't reckon I'd look. I've got a vision of what I think this man looks like, and I would rather have that be what he looks like. I don't want to know. I don't want to blow the illusion. I think he's hot and I want to be with him. Huh? No, I was just saying, the illusion, right? who the fuck is this Dale person? Probably a troublemaker. Sophia, I have a sticker on my webcam. Yeah, you can do that. You can just leave the sticker on and just use the camera, and the sticker will just have like some kind of light behind it. So it'll be like a red or a yellow or whatever, probably a black for you, right? You love your blacks. No, you should use this. Sophia, you should use one of these, your favorite colors, and stick those so that the camera just gives that red color. But we can do that tomorrow. Like I'm down for it. Actually, before I commit to that, oh, hang on. I got to get no, I can check my calendar on here. I don't think I got something coming up. It's not tomorrow though. Oh no, I'm good. Let's do a call in tomorrow then. For those that don't know, we haven't done a call in for a while, but I know how it's done, and I'll provide the link to the call in. I swear Dale is Trump from D-Live. He lives near Disney World. Doug's back. Could be the Mickey Mouse, could be. Dale has the same sense of humor as President Trump did. I probably can't do tomorrow. Dad's coming over to help me move furniture. Okay, no worries. Well, we can still
There's some similarities.
There's some similarities. We can still do a call in with Dale anyway. But I mean, it's wonderful to do it, and we have the technology to do it. I've always said call-ins are better than just me yapping. Haven't said it for a while, actually, probably since you've been in my streams. I haven't said it once, but I used to always say, I've got all these tabs, like I got all these things lined up here that we can watch. I got all these tabs ready to roll, but I'll forego all that if someone wants to call in and have a conversation. I think me streaming and projecting my ideas is fun, but it's always better if someone else comes in and, directs the show, talks about what they want to talk about, and I freestyle along, ad-libbing along. I don't mean that is a prison kind of way. Daily Mock, I didn't see what you said. Dale has the same sense of humor as the President Trump did in 2020. How do people even call in? So what I do, I provide you with a link, and the link takes you to a green room, and it's just this waiting room, and then I make sure that your camera and audio is all good, and then I add you into the call, basically. Pretty easy. Mr. Trance, how you doing, Mr. Trance, over on Beamstream? By the way, there is the new clipping feature on Beamstream. We should go out with this. We should take a look at that. On Beamstream, I got the email about clipping. Let me pull up my mail client and just read this email out. And it's going to be important because clips on Beamstream, it's brand new. Angle Manos. Big news. We've just launched one of the most exciting features yet, the Beam Clip Editor. Now you can clip your favorite moments while you're live or from past recordings. Excuse me. Choose the perfect length. Wow! Who did that on D-Live? Davo, thank you, man. Choose your favorite length between 10 and 120 seconds, so 2 minutes max. Pick a thumbnail, download and share instantly to your socials. Showcase the clips directly on your Beam profile. This is not just a tool, it's Beam's leap into the world of short-form content. Imagine your highlights reaching new audiences, inspiring more followers, and building even stronger communities around your streams. Now, this is the kicker. Soon, you'll see viewer-made clips and eventually AI-powered clipping. But right now, apparently, it's just the streamer who can clip. So to use the clip editor and start creating today, beamstream.gg guide clipping. Let me see how that looks. Stream clipping. And we zoom this in. This guide won't zoom in. This guide will walk you through the classic clip editor. When you open the clip editor, you'll first choose which recording to clip. You'll see your recent streams from the past 7 days. And if you're live, your current stream. Editor, after selecting a recording of your stream, clip editor will open. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Set the clip start and end. Yep. Add a name, choose thumb, create your clip. Damn, dude. Let's go and take a look. Let's go and see. Let's go to my beat. Yeah. Scared the absolute shit out of me. Thank you for that. By the way, for those that are wondering, what we're looking at here is beamstream.gg. This is a social platform that allows you to restream to multiple destinations and pull in a uni chat, how my chat's populating with all the different platforms, all for free. It's called beamstream.gg. They've just opened up clipping. Clip that. So I'm going to clip that. Where do we do this? Videos and recordings. We're live. We want to make a clip. I want to make a clip. Studio home. I want to make a clip. I guess I should just read the guide again. When you open the clip editor, where's the clip editor? The clip editor. Create a clip. Oh, it's the big scissor symbol. Wait, I didn't see the scissors there. Hell, okay, they're there now. Here is the clip editor. Oh, shit.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. Clip editor. Select the recording to create a clip. It doesn't, I thought you could do it while live. Okay. It doesn't actually allow me to do it while live. I want to do it live. It's not there. It's not here. Clip editor. I'm not seeing it as easy. I'm not seeing it. Studio home, videos and recordings, community, analytics, studio home. I don't see the little scissors there. Am I zoomed in too far? No, I don't see the scissors. I can't see the scissors at all. Customization. I don't see the scissors. Yeah, okay. Well, there was a linky poo here, clip editor. Beamstream Studio dash. See, the scissors are there now. What's that underneath? Studio home. Studio. It's not a drop down though. Oh, it's under videos. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so when you go studio home, you go down to videos and recordings, the little clip button, clip editor. Now you should be able to do it from, it doesn't let me do it from live. It says here, when you open the clip editor, you'll first choose which recording to clip. You'll see your recent stream from the past 7 days. And if you're live, your current stream will appear as well. Well, it doesn't. Close that. I'm live. Maybe I got to refresh that trouser. It just says I'm live at the top there. It goes back to there. Okay, so it's a bit clunkified. Clip editor. It just picks my last stream skins. Okay, that's a shame. Well, I'll create a clip from this. We'll just create a clip out of here. What happened on that last stream? I guess I could find out by going to my YouTube channel and finding some thumbnails, some timelines. Let me just pull this out. I just want to find what happened on that last stream that we're looking at here. So if I go to content, or I can go here, go to live, and the last stream was here. And let's just check for the timestamps, which I've been putting in timestamps these days. Okay, stream starts, Dime Glory Challenge, tens of thousands call in. I want to march, Australia Immigration March. USA has a Woolworths too.
Hey, 1031 Canal.
Hey, by the way, Dale, now that you're here, okay, so you guys have a Woolworths in America. I'm assuming it's not the same one. So let's grab that clip from 5306, just for the shits and giggles of it. 5306. So we want to clip it from navigate video 53. Oh, okay, interesting. Can we just go in with? Can I just type it in? 5306. Don't see 5306 there. Precise selection, 53. Okay, it's going to be a bit hard to do, right? So you guys have a Woolworths in America. It's definitely 5306 where it starts. So precise selection 53. Okay, so you can go in bigger there. 53. What? Window start, window end. Window start 52. Window start 53. You can't just, okay, that's a bit 53. Oh, that's a bit lame. Oh, that's lame. Okay. 5340, 5343. Oh, okay, wow. 5350. Okay, so this is not fun to do after the fact. Wow, now it's jumped back to 50. Damn, dude. Okay, so this, you kind of want to keep this window below scrolling along, right? 5306. So I want the window to be, that's right on 5306. That's right on 5306.
2005, when the structure was flooded following Hurricane Katrina. Still label scarred with Woolworth. It's
no. Wait.
Interiors were destroyed and would continue to sit that way, abandoned and.
It's navigate window 5306, precise selection 5750. Fuck, it's pretty clunky, man. 5306. Okay, 5306.
Episode of Cancelled, we'll take a look at why this happened, who was to blame, and what ended up happening to the Hard Rock Hotel, New Orleans. This video is sponsored by Nebula.
Nebula.
Get 40% off.
Wait, why is it not playing the bit? It's 53. Is it the time? The thumbnail is not the same time as the YouTube? Okay, so this is super clunky.
Off an annual 1031 Canal.
Hey, by the way, Dale, now that you're here, okay. Oh, there. Okay, so you guys have a Woolworths in America. I'm assuming it's not the same one, right? You know what? We've got the machine here. We got the ChatGPT machine. Let me just use it and find out. Unfull screen that. Yes, we do. Yeah, but it's not the Australian one, right? Because we've got Woolworths is like a, I'm going to call it an institution in this country. You know, it's been like the backbone of like supermarkets and shopping. Okay. Okay. So we know that it starts at the right time. Let's call it. Wait. The USA has Woolworths. 2. Thumbnail selector. Thumbnail or quick alternatives. Thumbnail selector. Dust me selector. Okay. We can't upload a thumbnail. Okay. I'll just go with that one then. We can't crop it in or anything. Okay. Looks like that's all we do. And create clip. Create clip. Clip created successfully. And I guess it's processing. I guess it's got a process. So then on my Profilic profile, does that come up somewhere? On my Profilic profile. We can't crop it in. Pause that shiz. I guess I was just going to see if clips pop up somewhere down there. I guess we'll have to wait for it to appear. I guess we'll have to wait for that to appear at some point. Yeah, but so anyway, so Daily Mock, yeah, I did understand that Woolworths in the US, it's not the same as the Australian one. It does exist, but yeah, we figured that out. Hey, I'm going to get out of here. My phone has some messages that I really want to look at, and we're going to wrap things up here. But I will see you guys tomorrow on stream. Of course, the call-in potential is there for anyone that wants it. And otherwise, I'll just going to be weird. I'll just be here hanging out with you yahoos. And It's going to be a fun time anyway. I'll see. Thank you everyone for being here, hanging out with me today. Yeah, go back and watch the start of this stream. It's very important. We're talking about bowel cancer. Go back and you learn about all this stuff. It's very interesting. I'm going to poop on a stick and it's going to be fun. I guess I'll catch you guys all in a special amount of time. That'll be one day. Jesus.